welcome to Real Talk, everybody. This evening, I have the pleasure of speaking with Jarrell,
Direct.
who lives with a physical disability. Thank you so much for joining me, Jarrell. I'm so glad to have you this evening.
You're welcome, Sean. It's great to finally meet you. I'm glad we got this opportunity to speak to each other.
So am I. And before I even start, I want to let you know that I think you are one very strong young man. As I just said, I love the fact that you say what you have to say. It makes sense. And the fact that you're actually saying something, because I think more of us need to stand up and speak out about policies, things that need to change, talk about our feelings and how things affect us and hurt us. And then others can fall in line because they see that somebody else is speaking up. So I do love that you're doing that.
I have to reverse what you just said. I love that there's people like you who could understand like what I'm saying and like what I go through and able to, empathize with it in a way, be sensitive to the topic and still want to listen and understand and take what I'm saying seriously because a lot of people don't give me the chance to, speak and express myself. So that's why I started the whole TikTok thing because I know I wasn't the only one that felt that way. You
Oh,
know?
I know you're not. I know you're not. And
So
that's why I said it's good that you're doing it because it takes one person sometimes to stand to speak out. And once that person speaks out, others follow and they realize that they're not alone.
yeah. And then like you become the patriarch
Yep.
for that movement. So it's amazing to have almost 13,000 followers on my platform.
I love it.
13,000. I almost had there. It's amazing to feel that support.
And it feels good. I know it feels good, especially after you said, apparently there was a time in your life that you were unheard or felt as if you were unheard and maybe even unseen. So the fact
Yeah.
that you're doing it now and people are noticing, and I'm pretty sure you have, negative people out there. We're never going to get completely rid of those people. But I think the key is to have more of the positive people on our team.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think the key is to know yourself and know your self worth before you go out there and express yourself. You gotta know that you don't need people to see your value because you have to see your value first. You have to seek out your purpose first before you interact with other people. And, you just gotta know yourself first, is what it comes down to. And then you could share yourself with the world, basically.
You're absolutely right. I think that once you know self-worth, that that is what allows you to be able to speak. That is
Yeah.
exactly what allows you to be able to speak because you learn self-love. Because without that, you really don't have anything to say because you care about other people actually
Yeah.
what they feel about you, not what you feel about yourself.
And I think that because I went through struggles in my life, I wasn't supposed to speak. The doctors told my mom that I wasn't going to be able to speak because of my cerebral palsy. Um, the doctors told my mom that I wasn't going to be able to speak. And I didn't say mama until 3 years old, you know?
Mm-hmm. But you did it, and look at you now, and you probably been talking ever since.
It's a blessing from God. It is. It's a blessing from God for real.
Exactly. They said he got something to say. I love it. I love it.
13,000 followers later.
That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I'm so proud of you. So now I heard you just said that you have cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were born with your physical disability.
Yeah, so basically I was born with this disability. The disability I have is spastic cerebral palsy. So basically my muscles don't work like the average person muscles would.
Mhm.
It's not a disease, it's just a physical limitation disability where my muscles get stiff, if I don't get the correct physical therapy or, if I take off for a while and don't do physical therapy, my muscles get really stiff.
Okay, okay. Now with the cerebral palsy, can you walk?
Yeah, I could still walk in a walker for like at least a good hour or two.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
I got to get back into it though, to be honest, because I haven't done it in a few years. But I'm in the process of ordering a walker pretty soon. I can't wait.
Oh, good, good.
Just to get back into that good physical shape because physical health is important too, as well as mental health.
You're right. They both go together. I always say that.
They definitely
The
do.
two work hand in hand.
They
Now,
definitely.
yes, indeed. And I mean, and actually, the mental health can be more important because we can deal with pain. Our bodies can sustain some pain, but when your mental is messed up, oh, yeah, you better watch
I
out.
wanted to get into too. That's why I do the whole motivational speaking because when you mess up, your physical health over with. How do you expect to work out your physical body when you work out your brain?
There you
You
go.
have to find what's bothering in life, and you have to, crush it at all odds.
You're
Because if you
right.
don't, you're just gonna stay in the mindset of nobody, nobody cares. I feel lonely, so you almost have to push yourself out of that mindset to reach bigger and better things.
There you go. You're already in the right place. You're
Yeah.
already on the right path yourself. So I mean, I hear you talking. And again, I'm strategic in who I reach out to. Everybody matters. Let me say that. But your platform is your platform, and you reach out to who you choose to reach out to.
Yeah.
And what you said intrigued me. Matter of fact, it was something that you mentioned that, of course, I know, but I just never really thought about it until you. And you mentioned something that
That's
huh?
I'm sorry. That's another thing. That's another thing I love about my platform is because I get to inform people on what they didn't know. I get to be that eye opener for them. So it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. I mean, because like you said, it's all about understanding, and
Yeah.
nobody, and that's the only thing we can ask for is respect and understanding. And I think if people utilize those two things, then we'll be okay. But you mentioned, you know, you have a physical disability. And I really want to say that in particular because when I was younger, or maybe people now, but speaking of myself, when somebody would say disability, you instantly assume mental and physical, but they're different.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's like it affects the brain, but physical, it doesn't affect it doesn't really affect the brain at all.
Exactly. And it basically lets people know that nothing's wrong with my head. Just because you see me in a chair, that chair does not define who I am. It doesn't think for me. I'm just like you. You're just walking and I'm sitting down in this chair. That's all.
I think the reason why some people get confused or misleaded is because there are some people in wheelchairs who do get affected mentally. It
You're right.
depends. It depends on what level CP you have, how severe the disability is, but
Right.
people don't want to take the time to listen and understand that. People just want to assume, things.
Exactly. And you're right. And that is a big assumption that I'm pretty sure some people have is the moment you see a wheelchair, that means there's a mental disability as well as a physical. And that's not true. Um, the best thing you can do is talk to people. And if you want to be friends with them, get to know them. Don't just stand there and stare at them.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen my videos, but I have talked about my high school experience and those kids. They were all grouped together with the jocks and the cheerleaders and the cool kids and all that. And me, since I was in a modified program and I took mostly the modified classes where we learned the same thing, but the classes were smaller, they must have thought, oh, this kid is not like us. So a lot of them would ignore me. A lot of them would say hi, but never really like talk to me. It was very weird for me, but I understood why they would think that. It's because they're not educated on people with disabilities, which they should be. But who knows when the school system is going to finally realize that.
Yeah, that is true. And I actually, well, not actually, I commend you so much for being able to, I don't know if you did it then or if you came to a realization of that as far as the children that were in the school that would look and speak but would not interact with you to get to know Jarrell the person. And again, it starts at home with the parents.
It does, but the parents don't even realize it. So it's like it's going to keep being a repeating cycle if someone doesn't put like a stop to it.
Yeah, That's true. And I heard you mention education, talking about that as far as you feel that there should be a program in school to educate children on people with disabilities, because I mean, that's part of the world.
Yeah. If there was a program, I would be the first teacher in that. I mean, I could do this. Like, come on, this needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah. And I do agree with you on that. And I can see how it would benefit, because people have a lot of misperceptions or conceptions of the disabled. And you really need to be educated. And again, with education comes understanding. And it allows you to be able to have a healthy conversation with someone, as opposed to being assuming things that aren't true just
believe
because someone is disabled.
believe it or not, it's not only the young generation that had it mixed up, it's the older generation too. You know, I've been clapped for by adults that are like 30 years old, you know, right in my face, just clapping for me because I did my work. You know, it's like, it's really annoying.
You said they did what? Say that again.
Like, sometimes people will like clap because they think like I'm not, you know, there. So sometimes I could have an adult come up and clap for me, or you know what I'm saying, like
Wow.
stuff like that.
Wow. Now I call that ignorance. You know,
It is ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. People
it
know.
sure is.
People don't know what they don't want to know. You know,
Yep.
so
And you're so right. And the good thing about you is that you already know that the things that people do, that's not your problem. That's
yeah,
their problem. You know, so I'm not the problem. I don't have a problem, and I'm not the problem. They're the problem. And so, you know, because again, if you really want to know something, you educate yourself about it or on it.
yeah.
And then you can understand a person or whatever the situation is more by, of course, educating yourself. So when you were in school and, you know, the kids would do that, how did that make you feel? Did
Uh,
you think that you were less than? Did you think there was a problem with you back then?
so like back then, when the mainstream kids would interact with me, when I was younger, they were intrigued, you know, because they're young, and little kids are intrigued by everything.
Yeah.
But as they got older, it kind of like switched to, oh, I'm attracted to my phone now. I'm attracted to this girl. I'm attracted to this man, you know. So I like this group instead of hanging out with this kid. So it became like they didn't hang out with people that were different than them. You know, they wanted kids that had the exact same thing as them. They wanted kids with the exact same, that looked, you know, beautiful or not different, or, you know, cool and handsome and all that other stuff.
Yeah, no, that's
You
true.
know, they don't want to look at the kid in the wheelchair that struggles a lot, you know? So I feel like that's why they distance themselves from me, because nobody likes to be around people that struggle, because they don't want to, you know, get depressed, or they don't want to, you know, see life from a different point of view,
Yeah,
especially if they haven't struggled.
that's true. That is true. Now, let's go back a little bit. For those who don't know, can you explain to us what cerebral palsy is? I know you said it affects your muscles, I think you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, my muscles get stiff, and basically, it's harder for me to do movements. Like, my movements are more jerky sometimes, more or less, and I have a startle reflex where sometimes if someone does a quick movement, I jump.
Okay.
You know, um, it's hard for me to bear weight sometimes if my legs get really stiff. You know,
Okay.
I can't bear weight. Um, I can't get myself dressed, so my mom has to like help me. You know, my mom and dad basically have to help me with everything. And you know, that's when I got to high school and middle school and started to realize that my life was really affected by this disability. I started to, you know, beat myself up a lot, because I started to see how much things were taken away from me, but I didn't realize how much I had at the time, you know, how much knowledge I do have, because it's about the knowledge, not the physical, you know, stature of a person.
You're right about that. You're so right. And I commend your parents, wherever you all are. I commend you. I listened to this young man. You did a damn good job raising him, and you know you make your parents proud. Trust me, you do. I'm a
Yeah,
parent
they
myself.
rem they remind me of that every day. They say, my mom says I make her proud. My dad says that I'm amazing. They think, especially when I went viral, my mom almost cried. She was like, "Oh my God,"
That's
because I went viral a few times on TikTok. The first time I went viral, I was shocked. I lost my voice. I said, "Holy, oh my!" I went viral.
that's
Because
a
I've
good thing.
I've always been into making videos, like making YouTube videos. I saw this gamer guy do it named Chris, and I was like, I need to do that. So then my little 11-year-old voice was on a YouTube video saying, "Hey guys, welcome back to the JJ show." That was before the motivational video
Right.
days.
That's that. So that was it was just meant for you. That was just your stepping stone to get your feet wet, learn how to do it, figure out where you want to be. And now,
Exactly. And then TikTok came out, and I just started TikTok as like a hobby, because it was quarantine.
right.
Everybody was sad during quarantine. Quarantine was a tough time for me.
Yeah.
Definitely. Um, that's when I started TikTok, and then it just blew up from there. I made one motivational video and got like 48 followers the next day.
Wow. So you turned that negative, whatever you were feeling going through quarantine, you picked up that phone or computer, got on TikTok, and it's been rocking and rolling ever since then.
Yep. And you know what? This is the truth. Some videos do really well, some videos do poorly, but it's not about the views for me. It's about the message and how I could change somebody's life.
That is the key. That is the key. It's not about how many, it's about affecting the ones that do see it in the right way.
Because I get so many messages saying, "You helped me so much. Thank you." I got this one message one time that said, "My brother had just passed away and your video has been helping me. So I appreciate that." And when I saw that comment, I was like, wow, I affect people in that way. Like it made me feel really good as a person.
It does. And it also gives you purpose because you know that you're reaching somebody else that may be struggling just as we all do. But people just need to know that they're not alone. There are people out here that care, that have been there, that have made it through. And that's why I do this to let them know that you're not alone. You don't have to feel alone. You can make it through. Let's just talk about it.
Yes.
Now, what about dating? Like, have you started dating? Anybody
Here's the
interested
thing.
in?
Good question. Good question. So when it comes to that, I'm just waiting for the right time and the right person. Because when it comes to that, obviously a girl isn't hitting me up saying, let's hang out. It's never really like that. It's more like I'm just waiting for my time and the right opportunity. Plus, I want a job first,
Okay. Yeah.
kind of before I focus on like a girl.
Yeah. I completely understand that.
I want to be able to take her out on dates. Like
Exactly.
I don't want to just sit home watching Netflix.
That's true. That's true. You got to have the funds. I mean, you got to get the funds.
It's funny because, not to bring the subject off of me, but on YouTube there's this couple named Shane and Hannah, and the girl is able-bodied.
Uh-huh.
She's 25 years old, and the guy Shane has SMA, which is a disability where your muscles kind of, you have a small body but a big head, and
Okay.
people judge them because it's like, how could you be with a man that's weak like that? You must have a horrible life because you're with a man that's weaker than you. You
That's
know,
sad. That's sad.
because
That'll push people closer together, if anything.
yeah, the struggle does push people closer together.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes.
people don't understand. I think today's society is so focused on masculinity, and especially now. I don't know if you've seen TikToks now where they're talk about like male masculinity and
I have.
how women men have to be strong before they could get a woman or something stupid like that.
Yes. You said it right. Something stupid like that. I mean, because my definition of a man has nothing to do with how strong you are. So
I feel like it's about the knowledge before it's about the power.
it is. It's about that and how well you're treating that lady and the things that you're providing, a provider. There's so many different things that come along with being a man, and not just what swings in between your legs. It's so
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Thank you.
it's so much more than that.
Exactly.
People get that so misconstrued, but I mean, hey, to each his
I
own.
think it's because of today's social media.
It is, and it's
It
sad
re-
because in some ways, myself being a little older, you know, I like to get with the times and stay up with things, but there's some things that I choose not to um move with because they're moving in a direction that I don't feel like is the right direction.
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
for me, it's
Like me, social media changed my life. That, that's when I started filming and all this and that. But I use it in a positive way. But there's a lot of people that use it in a negative way, especially when it comes to cancel culture and canceling this and doing that.
yeah, yeah. But that is the generation we live in. They'll cancel you quick. I didn't even know what the heck that meant. People are like cancel culture. I'm like cancel culture. What's that mean?
Exactly, exactly. I didn't even know what it meant either. Then I looked it up. I was like, oh,
I mean,
that's what.
I assume because of the word cancel and culture, I know what the two words meant, but I just wanted to make sure that it really means what I think it means. I mean, they're literally like you're canceled. Like
Yeah, definitely.
it's
I hope I never get canceled. That's gonna be it.
I sure hope I don't. I mean, apparently, people are following each other in huge amounts these days. I mean, so if there's a whole culture that's being
I say one thing about an able body and they're like cancel. That would be a sad day. I would call you up and be like, I got canceled.
we're not
Shit.
gonna let you get canceled. You have too much positive stuff to say. Nah, we're not gonna let that happen to you, man. You
The
speaking.
JJ family for sure.
So now I heard you say as far as the depending on people, so that is part of your everyday life, having to depend on someone to help you get dressed.
Yeah, basically it took a toll. It really affected my mental health because it was like, oh, I need help with so much stuff. How am I going to have an independent life in the future? How am I going to have a wife? Going back to the girl, like, how's the wife even going to like me because I need all this help?
Right.
So it's like, you beat yourself up a lot because you feel less of a man because you see all these like superheroes and all these guys playing football for the NFL and boxing and, baseball. So it's like, what does it I was questioning like what does it being a man like really mean for me?
Mm-hmm. And what did you come up with?
I came up with it's all about the knowledge and the heart because all the body is skin and bones that hold the heart and the brain together. So
I
it's
love it.
all about the knowledge and the heart that you have.
And are you satisfied with what you came up with? That does that help you know that you're going to be okay as a man?
Yeah, some days I do have my days. Some days I do. And I post that on the TikTok. I'll be like, today I had this day because of this, and that. I don't want them to think that everything is peaches and cream for me
Of
because I'm doing
course.
motivational videos. So I show my sad days, I show my happy days, and I think that's why the fans connect with me on a different level because I'm not faking anything to get to the top. A lot of these TikTok influencers, they get, fame off of doing a dance or, rapping a song or, you know, doing something stupid. But me, I want to get big off of being real.
That's right. That's right. And you're going to keep growing because of that.
Yeah.
Because most people like realness. You can relate more to someone that's showing the happiness because that's what you're speaking, motivational speaking. That's saying happiness, and that's saying self-love because otherwise it wouldn't be motivational speaking. But on the flip side, I'm also a human being. And so I do have moments where I'm down and out. But I'm more than willing to show those and express those as well. And so that is a good thing to me because
Yeah.
it's letting people know, like you said, I'm not fake. I'm no different than you. I have bad days and good days. I like it. I think that's a really good.
Like I said, I think that's what helps people because they see that,
Yeah, it does help people. It really does. That's one of them things to let people know again, you're not alone. Oh, he's going through this too. He looks happy all the time. And then the next week you come on and you've gone through a challenging day or whatever.
The
So
last
that
bit
helps.
the last video that did really good for me that went viral was me just talking about how it's on I'm a senior in high school and this is tough for me. There was nothing positive about it, but it was just I felt like people connected with that because maybe they felt like that too at one point, or maybe they didn't realize that people with disabilities felt this way,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
could feel anything at that because I feel like sometimes they think that we don't feel emotion or something. It's weird.
No, you're right. It's weird. No, you're right though, because you wonder if they do, if they even know you can feel. Hey, I do feel. I like that. I like it.
I'm so glad that I'm able to speak because there are people with CP that can speak. Like my friend Jessica, she has CP, but it's way more severe than mine. Like she can't speak. She could only move like her head. She could still walk, but she can't speak. Like she could still walk in a walker, but can't speak. So imagine what people think of her. You
Yeah,
know,
and she
it's
can't even
it's
speak.
it's very tough to understand our lives. But once you understand it, you realize that that they're normal people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Normal people that deserve respect, love, friendship, all the things that abled is what I heard you say, people
Yeah.
need. And we, you all need the same thing. You're no different. So I need that to be driven home to
It's
people.
because of the labels like special needs. It's because of the labels like disability. Sometimes people take the label too seriously.
They do. They do. And that's why you're here and others like yourself that are speaking up and letting people like myself and others know more so that we can understand your daily struggle, the things that you all go through, and put a lot of things in perspective or perceptions that people may have. It'll put those to rest.
Like I said, I love just opening people's eyes and thinking differently. I love making people think differently because once you do that, it's a whole other world. They teach their kids, and
Yep,
their kids teaching their kids. So
that's
if
it.
I die, I'm gonna die with a legacy.
Oh, you are. You said it, and I believe it.
I have to die with a legacy.
And so you will. Because if you say it and you go out and do it, then that's what's going to happen. That's what's going
Yes.
to happen. And you've already started. You just need to keep going.
Sometimes I have my days where I'm like, should I stop this? Because one video gets 20,000 likes and then another video will only get like 200. I'm just like, is this like, is this really helping people? But it is, whether it reaches 1,000 people, 2,000, it is. I don't have to be the next famous person to be on the news, or I just want to get the message out there.
And you will. And when you have that self-doubt, do exactly what you just did. Because when you just said your own answer. So whenever you're feeling like that, go right back to that same thing you just told me and do not stop. Because just as I saw you, others are seeing you. Some just aren't hitting the like button, as we know how that goes. Some just aren't saying anything, but you are being seen. And some other younger child is also seeing you that's going to say, wow, if Jarrell did it, I can do it. He told
Yeah,
me I can.
yeah, exactly. That's what I can't wait for. I can't wait for that next person to be like, this, and this is happening to me. You know.
It's going to come. It's definitely going to come. So I want to know what what finally happened through the high school thing. I know you were going through that. you know, I'm assuming that you didn't have a lot of friends, you know, going through high school because of the
Exactly,
right.
exactly.
So when did you finally decide, you know what, to hell with this? I matter. I got something to say, and you rose up and your confidence just blew up. When did that happen?
Because I realized that people needed to hear this, you know? It happened during quarantine because I was like, I was watching Shane and Hannah. I was like, should I do something like this where I talk about my life and, share my perspective on people and want to motivate people? So that's when it happened because I realized I was going through a lot. Kids weren't really talking to me. It was weird, man, and I got sick of it. So I was like, I'm gonna speak on this because I see TikTok is a new platform where people are very outspoken, and I was like, I have to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And for that reason, I do love TikTok because I believe that it allows people to be themselves, even though you're behind a camera, and no one can see you. You're letting the world see who you are, and you're bringing yourself to the forefront. I mean, some people are going to like it, and some aren't. But I only care about the people that do like it. I'm not worried about the people that
Yeah, me too. I only care about the people that do. I don't care about. You know what's crazy? I've done TikTok for over a year and a half now. I never got a hater. Yeah, I've got people who disagreed in the comments, but
don't. Really good. I'm actually shocked because there can be some rude
there are some toxic
people.
there's some toxic ass fan bases, but
Yes.
there's really toxic ass fan bases out there,
Oh,
man.
I mean, brutal. I'm like, damn. So I'm glad that you haven't experienced
It's like
that.
you're gonna curse them out like that.
I'm glad you haven't experienced that. Jeez, man. People can be brutal, but that goes to show that your message is getting across in a good way.
Yeah, and you know what it is with me. I'm gonna add this too. I try to get my message out there in all different ways. So not only do I speak, but I'm also a music artist as well.
Oh.
I had my first song release called Warrior with this other girl named Crazy K. I basically talked about my life in the verse and how I'm affected by certain things, and it only got 34 likes, but my fan base really did enjoy it. Really did enjoy
That's
this,
what's up. I love it.
so
Wow.
that's what
Well,
I
I'm gonna make sure my people follow you.
that's what
I
I'm
know
here
that.
for to
Oh
that's what
yeah.
I'm here for, to spread the message in any way I can.
Dang all right. And what more than a way to spread it than through music? That everybody loves music.
Cuz I that's another thing. I feel like music is a way to express yourself when you can't use words.
Yep, it
you
is.
know.
It is.
And so with some of my songs, I couldn't use words because it might be too sad. But with music, I feel like I could express it in a way that's amazing.
That is. Do me a favor, tell everybody what you have going on, what's in the making, and where everybody can follow you so that they can keep up with what you have going on.
So basically, my name is Jerome Johnson. I'm a disability advocate, a motivational speaker. I talk about my life on my TikTok at Jarrell Johnson 6. You guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Basically, what I have on in my life right now is I just graduated high school, so now I'm going to this life skills program that I'm not excited for, but you
I was
know, we're,
ready to say congratulations. What
we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it
you
definitely. Then I want to try to go to college to do something with mental health and become maybe a psychologist or therapist.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, you try it out. And I remember you told me you were not excited.
I even talked about it on the TikTok. Hopefully the teachers don't see that.
I
Shit.
know, yep.
it
Everything's going to be good. You're going to come out and be like, oh my God, I had fun.
was it was great talking to you.
Oh,
Thank
it was
you.
good.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm
Absolutely.
definitely gonna share this with my little fan base that I have on the
Please do,
Instagram
man. I
and
appreciate it.
TikTok.
I got one last question for you before I let you go.
Okay.
Give me a second. Let me see your face. You gotta move this out my way. Well, you promised me to always spread peace and love in this world.
Yes.
That's
It's all about positivity.
You're
See
right
the
about
vision
that.
and complete the mission.
I love it. You're right about
And
that.
make your mark on the road. Never give up. Even if people are telling you to be realistic with yourself, never give up and keep striving. Prove those people wrong,
Y'all
Because
hear that?
I've had people tell me to be realistic before. But the things that I think of when people tell me that is like you're basically telling me to give up because of my, learning challenges or physical challenges you're telling me to give up without realizing how that affects me. So what I'm gonna end this podcast by saying is before you say like words, think about how they affect people. Before you say words like be realistic with yourself or this is not for you. Think about what you say before you say it.
That's so true. Y'all, you already know, y'all, what he's saying is so true. I mean, let's adhere to it and live by those words because they're so true. Our words affect people, and we really do. We have to be cognizant of the way we're treating people. Okay, everybody deserves to be treated with love and respect, and kindness, compassion, empathy,
And equality.
and equality. You damn right about the equality. I cannot
Definitely
leave
equality.
that out.
Yes, sir. Definitely equality.
All right, Jarrell, it was so, so, so lovely speaking with you. And